The U.S. Air Force has announced that it plans to develop a new, relatively low-cost, precision-guided air-launched standoff munition, the Extended Range Attack Munition, or ERAM, with Ukraine as the intended recipient. ERAM, which could have a range of up to 250 miles, would provide the Ukrainian Air Force with the capability to strike targets beyond the reach of many weapons currently in its arsenal, including Western-supplied precision-guided bombs. This project also presents an ideal opportunity to conduct an immediate real-world evaluation of evolving concepts for rapidly developing and scaling up the production of relatively complex weapon systems. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how U.S. Air Force's new Extended Range Attack Munition could help Ukraine. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The Air Force Life Cycle Management Center's AFL-CMC Armament Directorate at Eglin Air Force Base has issued a request for proposals (RFP) regarding ERAM. The RFP is part of a larger, rapid developing contracting vehicle called the AFL-CMC Armament Directorate Rapid Response (ADRR) Commercial Solutions Opening (CSO). The new RFP seeks to procure the initial phases of a new aircraft-launched weapon labeled ERAM, which is pivotal for accelerating Ukraine's capability to meet warfighter needs efficiently and effectively, and provides an affordable mass weapon to be produced at scale, according to the U.S. Air Force. The government is seeking to prototype and adopt commercial autonomous modular open architecture vehicle that can deliver affordable long-range effects. The resultant prototype will provide a platform that's mass-producible. In January, the U.S. Air Force issued its first public contracting notice regarding ERAM, a request for information, or RFI, without mentioning any connection to Ukraine. The new request for proposals, RFP, explicitly seeks full proposals from each of the 16 companies that responded to the earlier RFI, though none of these companies are named. The RFP references a set of requirements for ERAM that has not been publicly released. The previous RFI did outline some key parameters. AFL-CMC EBDK's, the AFL-CMC Armament Directorate's, contracting notice calls for a 500-pound class munition with a range of at least 250 miles and a top speed of no less than Mach 0.6. The size of the munition's warhead isn't specified, but it needs to be a blast fragmentation type with at least some degree of penetrating capability and unspecified variable fuse settings. The ERAM's internal navigation system has to be capable of operating in a GPS-degraded environment. The weapon also needs to have a terminal accuracy of CEP 50 within 10 meters, meaning the weapon hits within 10 meters or around 33 feet of the specified impact point at least 50% of the time, in both non-EMI, electromagnetic interference, and high EMI environments, including GPS-degraded. The RFI also specified a design that would allow a manufacturer to produce 1,000 units within 2 years, averaging nearly 42 units per month. The new precision-guided, air-launched standoff munitions with ranges of up to 250 miles or 400 kilometers would greatly benefit the Ukrainian Air Force. ERAM would provide Ukraine's pilots with the valuable capability to engage targets deeper behind enemy lines while reducing their exposure to the significant threat posed by Russian air defenses, which Ukraine has also been actively targeting. Depending on the munitions propulsion system and flight profile, Ukrainian aircraft might still be able to strike substantial distances away, even when releasing the weapons at lower altitudes, helping them remain shielded from potential threats. Interestingly, Lieutenant General Serhiy Naev, commander of the Joint Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, mentioned back in February that unspecified air-to-ground missiles with ranges between 186 to 310 miles were expected to be included with new Western-supplied F-16 Viper fighters. Whether Naev was referring to ERAM is unknown. ERAM could potentially be integrated into other aircraft in Ukraine's arsenal, such as the Soviet-era MiGs and Sukhois. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, as well as many other leaders in the Ukrainian armed forces, have time and again highlighted the need for weapons that can engage Russian assets from long ranges. While Army TACMs have been provided, the supply is limited and there are usage restrictions in place. ERAM for Ukraine has major implications when it comes to providing that country with a badly needed boost to its ability to conduct precision airstrikes and do so at standoff ranges. But this is not all. The weapon could also have larger implications. Russian forces have reportedly been effectively using electronic warfare systems against GPS-assisted guidance packages on various air and ground-launched munitions that Ukraine has received from the United States and other Western partners. This even led the Pentagon to announce that the U.S. Air Force had signed a contract to procure new seekers for Joint Direct Attack Munitions Extended Range, or JDAM-ER, precision glide bombs for Ukraine, equipping them with home on-jam capability to counter this threat. The U.S. military has a vested interest in precision-guided munitions that can function effectively amidst heavy electronic warfare jamming. Additionally, the U.S. military anticipates the need to expend significant amounts of standoff munitions during the initial phases of any future high-end conflict, particularly against China across the vast expanse of the Pacific. Lower-cost, easier-to-produce designs are crucial for stocking up on relevant weapons now and replenishing inventories economically during a prolonged conflict. ERAM offers an opportunity to rapidly prototype and field a weapon system that would immediately be used in an operational context. The conflict in Ukraine is already serving, somewhat controversially, as a real-world testing ground for weapons and other materials, a point that Ukrainians themselves have occasionally highlighted. ERAM would be another addition to this testing ground.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.